We talked about it a few videos ago that the Blue Jays, all they needed to do was get back into the win column and it would just kind of get everything flowing again. And the Blue Jays took that win yesterday against the Phillies into Game 1 against the Yankees and win 11-5. And there is so many storylines from a game like this. And I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the starting pitcher today, and that was Matt Shoemaker. I said in the last video that it sounded like he was going to get the start, and he did, and he looked really good. Other than 2 walks, and then I think it was a greasy base hit to score a run. Other than that, Matt Shoemaker was very good. He ended up going 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was an earned run, obviously, 1 strikeout and a couple walks. I thought he was pretty good in his 3 innings of work, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You guys ready for this? Because who leads off the inning? Okay? The man of the night, Alejandro Kirk, leads off the inning, and he hits a single to right field. A great opposite field single for Kirk. You love to see it. Then Jonathan Davis strikes out. Then Kevin Biggio walks. Then Bobo Bichette singles. Kirk comes in to score. And we're tied at 1. All right, good stuff there. Next up, Hernandez. He singles to center field. In comes Biggio. The Jays take the lead. It's now 2-1. All right, next up, Gurriel strikes out, and now you got 2 out. Well, at least you got the lead now. It's 2-1. But hold on. Randall Grichuk, base hit to right field. Bichette comes in to score. They bring in Loaizaga to face Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he had a great night at the plate. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But then he hits a ball down the third base line. It's a fair ball. 2 runs come across. The Blue Jays have a 5 spot in the inning, and it's a 5-1 Blue Jays lead. But we have seen this evaporate time in, time out, right? And as I've said, and I will continue to say so, you score 5. What do I always say you want to do after that? Put up a 0. And TJ Zoik came in there, and he faced Gleyber Torres, Aaron Hicks, and Gio Urshela when 1-2-3 allowed the Jays to get right back on the bat. And who led off this inning? Alejandro Kirk again. All right, well, he doubles to left field. Great job for Kirk. He pulled that ball down the left field line, and then Davis reached on catcher interference, so the Jays have 2 on and nobody out again. And Kevin Biggio walks. Hey, we got nobody out still, and the bases are loaded. All right, and then Bo Bichette singles to right field. In comes Alejandro Kirk. Then on an infield single, Teoscar Hernandez hits it to third. Davis comes across to score. It's a 7-1 Jays lead. The bases are still loaded. Then Gurriel Jr. grounds into a double play, unfortunately, but a run comes across. It's an 8-1 Jays lead, so we're already in good shape there. Then Randall Grichuk walks. Then Vladdy comes up again and gets barrel the ball and it hits an absolute seed down the left field line. Obviously stays fair, was fair by a mile, and 2 runs come across to score. And the Blue Jays have a huge lead now. They score 4 in the inning. It's now a 9-1 Jays lead, right? And things are going great. They got the big lead now. Their pitching's been pretty solid. You just want to end the game strong. So see what I said, guys. You score 5. You go 1-2-3 in the pitching half of the inning. Get right back on the bats. You score 4 more. How many times do I have to say when you score runs and then you put up a 0, it keeps your offensive flow going, especially since you bat around in both innings, because we go to the next inning in the 5th, Kirk's leading off again, and he singles to right field, and we're like, holy smokes, no, I'm spitting all over the place. He was 3 for 3 at this point. Stay hot, young fella. All right, and then let's keep going down here. There's so many offensive things to talk about. In the bottom of the 6th inning, on a great at-bat from Randall Grichuk. It was an incredible at-bat. He gets the count full, and he hits a ball deep to right center field, and it's gone! The first time Grichuk hit a home run since late August. It was like the 24th or something like that. Big time he needed that. He's been struggling offensively, but a really good game for him. He had a really good eye at the plate, and I loved his approach at the dish today. And he gets rewarded with the home run, his 10th home run of the year. And the Blue Jays tack on another one. It's now a 10-1 Jays lead. Then we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Alejandro Kirk up again. Oh, you know he's going to do something special. And he drills one because one of his double, or was it the single or the double? I can't remember what it was. It hit, I think it was the single. It hit the top of the wall and the right field wall. And I'm like, oh, it was so close to his first big league homer. You go to the 7. He hits it basically the same spot, maybe a little bit closer to the foul pole. But it stays fair. But this one is gone for Alejandro Kirk. 4 for 4 game with a home run. I mean, what a game for Alejandro Kirk. He gets 4 hits, goes 4 for 4. He does a great job catching today for the Jays. I thought he did a really good job behind the dish, catching the pitching staff today. He did a really good job there. I love it. I love the kid. I mean, you see the way the players are loving him. Jays fans, let me give you this and see if you agree with me. He reminds me of a Kawasaki, but more talented and a better player than Kawasaki was. Kawasaki was just a weirdo, right? We all loved it because the team sucked. So we were like, oh, we got to try and like something about this team. And we found Kawasaki to like. But for Kirk, he doesn't say much. You heard in the post-game interview with Gritchick, he's like, he doesn't say much. He's quiet. He goes out, does his business, and goes out, gets out of everybody's way. You know, nothing. He doesn't say a whole lot. Doesn't show a lot of emotion. But man, this kid can hit. I mean, and that's something the Blue Jays catchers do not have. Offense. We saw Reese McGuire go to the taxi squad, go to Rochester because we're like, hey, this guy can't hit. Danny Jansen's hitting $160 this year. And then comes Alejandro Kirk, and it's only been like 6 games, but he's hitting like over 400. He was hitting 200 going into the game today, but no matter what, he's giving you hard hit contact. He's got a great eye at the plate. He's looking great. Alejandro Kirk, have a day, and it makes it an 11-2 Blue Jays lead because Urshela had an RBI ground out in the top of the 7th. All right, and then the top of the 9th inning, look at the closest game at 11-2, then Wilmer Font goes out there and was terrible. I mean, he's had a terrible season, and it continues with a bases-loaded, bases-clearing double from Mike Tauchman, making 11-5. They bring in Yamaguchi to face Giancarlo Stanton, strikes him out, ball game Blue Jays, and as much as Garrett Cole is going tomorrow, and Tanaka's going tomorrow, and it's basically Tanner Roark and Chase Anderson going the next 2 days. Doesn't look pretty. Today was a big-time victory for the Toronto Blue Jays. They needed this one. And look, Jays fans, I think we've all kind of succumbed to the fact that we're probably going to make the playoffs, but we're going to be in the last spot in the playoffs. I think that's kind of what we're sitting at right now. I mean, that's what I expected. And yeah, we were ahead of the Yankees at one point, but you expected them to be as good as they are right now. But for the Blue Jays, enjoy this victory because, man, it was a fun one. And let's get to these things. All right? Because there's so many stats we can talk about. Let's start with the pitching. Okay? Let's start with that. We talked about Shoemaker, and there was a lot of good things we saw today, all right? TJ Zoik, other than the rough last inning that he had, I thought he was spectacular in 3 1/3. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and he had a lot of ground ball outs. He was really good. He got a lot of his pitches were down, and all they can do is roll over on it. They couldn't do a whole lot with it. Great job by TJ Zoik. Picks up the victory in the game today. Patrick Murphy goes out there, and he was great. When you're pumping 97, 98 with a crazy 12-6 curve, throwing it for strikes, that does damage. He went an inning and 2/3, 2 hits. No runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Great job by Patrick Murphy in his inning and 2/3. Wilmer Font, like we said, was downright awful. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 3 runs. He was bad. Yamaguchi got the 1 strikeout to go in there and did a job. All right? Now, let's go to the offense because this is where things get fun. Kevin Biggio was 0 for 3 in the ballgame, but being at the top of the lineup, we always look at a guy like a high on-base percentage. He walked twice in the game, and he came around to score twice. When your number one guy gets on base, it's a recipe for good things happening. And Biggio's his on base percentage is .372, guys. I mean, that's the type of stuff you want at the top of the shop. All right, Bo Bichette, he's starting to feel himself. I mean, you saw the triple I think he hit yesterday and the double he had yesterday. Now, he went 2 for 5 today, had 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Great job for Bo. He's hitting .311. And Teoscar Hernandez continues to swing the bat extremely well. He was 2 for 5 with a couple RBIs and a run scored in the game today. Yeah, he struck out 3 times, but I'll take the 2 for 5 with a couple runs scored over 3 strikeouts any day of the week. All right, he's hitting .310 on the year. Great job there. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., an awful game today. 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, including that double play he grounded into. But really, I mean, He had an off day. Oh, well. That's baseball. Sometimes it's going to happen that way. Randall Grichuk, as I mentioned earlier, I love this approach at the plate today. 2 for 4 in the game. Had the home run, a couple RBIs, 2 runs scored for Grich, and he also walked once as well. So a really good job at the plate for Randall Grichuk. And as much as Kirk did pitch, he didn't pitch at all. As much as Kirk had a great day at the plate, and, Grichuk had the home run, and Shoemaker got the start, all those great storylines. What goes a little bit unnoticed is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. going 3 for 3, had 3 RBIs. Yeah, the triple he had, it was a fly ball that got lost in twilight. But hey, it counts. He got to third. He could have just jogged it out and stayed at first. But instead, he busted out of the box, and he ends up getting to third base on the play. So a great job there, all right? Now, he went 3 for 3, 3 RBIs, and he walked. I gotta say, Vladdy's approach today, if he can take that approach on any given night, he will succeed in the big leagues without a doubt. The approach he had today was incredible. Swing at strikes, foul off tough pitches, lay off balls. That's what he did today. And it sounds simple, it sounds straight up, but again, it's not easy, obviously, but he made it look easy today. Great job for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. today, hitting with the hits today. He's hitting .249 with a .324 on base. Again, still not very good numbers, but a great day at the dish today for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And Jonathan Villar, him and Gurriel had off nights at the dish, over 4 with a couple strikeouts for Jonathan Villar. We all know Alejandro Kirk had 4 for 4 in the game, scored 3 runs, and I gotta say, the Jays had no offense to that point, right? And he leads off that fourth, was it the 4th inning? They score those runs? No, the 3rd inning, excuse me. He starts off the 3rd inning with a knock. And it was next guy after next guy after next guy that got hits. So he started each rally in the 3rd and the 4th to get it going. When you're bottom of the lineup, as Jays fans know from 15 and 16, if your bottom of the lineup can contribute the way they can, if you can see, I'm not saying Kirk go 4 for 4 every night, but if he can give you a sprinkle in a couple hits and turn the lineup over like that, it's huge. And that's what you saw today. 4 for 4, 3 runs scored, had the home run, the RBI, and he's hitting .429. Obviously, it's only 6 games, but a great job for Alejandro Kirk and Jonathan Davis, 0 for 3 in the ball game. But came around to score on that catcher's interference from Gary Sanchez. So a great job there overall. Jays had 13 hits in the game. They scored 11 runs on 13 hits. They struck out 12 times, but again, when you hit the ball, when you get 13 hits and 11 runs, those numbers mean absolutely nothing. So overall, a really good game for the Blue Jays today and a big-time win. It looks like Seattle might win this one. They're up 1-0 now over Houston in the 7th inning. But Jays fans, no matter what Seattle does today, the magic number right now is 3. If they find a way to lose, it goes down to 2. If they win, it's still 3. So a great job by the Blue Jays going out there today and taking care of business. Their bullpen day didn't go according to plan. Now they have Garrett Cole going tomorrow, all right, as 6:37 first pitch at Salem Field. Garrett Cole, Tanner Roark, and then obviously in the next game, Tanaka and Chase Anderson, then Robbie Ray and Jordan Montgomery in the finale. So today was a big-time victory. They needed this win, and they got it in big fashion. Big nights at the plate for Alejandro Kirk, Randall Grichuk, Teoscar Hernandez, Bo Bichette, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Big nights at the plate for those guys, and that's what you need moving forward. Obviously, you're facing a guy like Garrett Cole today, so people feeling good, feeling hot going into a game like that, it's exactly what you need, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game, because I sure did, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Your thoughts on Alejandro Kirk and Captain Kirk. Your thought on Vladdy's day at the plate. Randall Grichuk's approach at the plate. What do you think of Shoemaker in his first inning back? Let me know, guys, in the comments below. Go crazy. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram link is down in the descriptions. If you have not followed up the Instagram page, please go do so. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, in Game 2 of the 4-game set against the Yankees. They're tomorrow evening, 6:37 first pitch. They're at Salem Field. Garrett Cole, Tanner Roark, the pitching matchup. Doesn't look very good, but hey, baseball is baseball. Sports are sports. You never know what's going to happen. 6:37 first pitch at Salem Field. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.